more openness to that type of
I see what you mean, because LuckyQ brings with him this level of aggression that's not there with a lot of players, and it was very difficult to adapt to beforehand. So I'm interested to see how this plays out.
We're going to see how that plays out as we get into our first game. This is game number 1 of a semifinal best-of-5. The player that wins this will not only advance to the World Finals, but also to the Grand Finals of the 2019 SWC Europe Cup.
All right.
Here we go. Semifinals 2, round number 1. LuckyQ versus Rosith. These players are deciding on their pre-bans right now, and just as a reminder, if nobody's been here before, if they're just joining us now, you can't consecutively pre-ban the same monster twice.
Exactly. And in this case, LuckyQ took a bit, I would presume, like preemptively presume that LuckyQ took a bit more time what he wants to ban, considering that he had 3 LDs he could potentially ban.
That's right. First picking Lauren, of all the things that he could first pick.
C'est la vie, c'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
Lorraine, I love you.
It's fitting.
It is
It's fitting. I think if we've established one thing today, it's that everybody in the audience should be building Lauren right now. I think this is all just one big lecture on Lauren.
She's not just good in PvP, she's good in all aspects of the game.
She's actually in my Dragons team right now, believe it or not.
I wouldn't, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. No, that's actually the truth.
Yeah.
Here we go. So Daphnis is on the right. Fran is there too. We see the Ragdoll pick, and we brought this up before. One of the benefits of picking a Ragdoll or one of those very high threat LD Nat 5s is that you get to take whatever team you want in most cases.
Yeah, and it just enables. It's not entirely, but it's almost a anti-speed team. Considering, like, if you leave that Ragdoll through, if they just make a single crit on that on Rosith, he might as well just get the turn because he's gonna get boosted.
Yes, you're kind of denying yourself the rest of the team. You get the first turn and that's it. Then the whole enemy team goes before you. LuckyQ continuing that Lagmaron streak right now.
That I gotta be honest. That is so beautiful to look at. I love LuckyQ's team here, and I'm not gonna say I'm gonna steal it, but I'm going to steal it.
Rosith presenting a second LD Nat 5 threat. Because why not, really?
Why not?
I'm expecting the Ragdoll ban to be sure, but it's taking a lot into account. Also, there's a lot to
The thing here is, like, if LuckyQ bans the Ragdoll, he has to deal with that Daphnis and the Shiho.
Exactly. And people have a tendency to just say, it's an LD Nat 5, let's ban it.
Yeah, they do. And in this case, if the Lagmaron is let through, which is not, LuckyQ still has the potential to kill that Shiho right now, unless that resistance does some insane work.
LuckyQ showing that he is sound in mind right now. He looked at everything. He saw the Ragdoll and he said, I'm not going to ban this just because it's got the name Ragdoll on it. Can I get around everything else? And I agree with this because he set himself up. He's got the one turn of immunity from Triana, which sets up the defense break on Shiho.
He didn't get a single crit, which leaves him to just do that, exactly that.
Yes, and now he doesn't get to benefit from the Ragdoll passive. That was an awesome stroke of luck from him, not critting on that. One of the few moments where you don't want to crit on a monster.
Unfortunately, it wasn't as much damage as I would have hoped it was.
That's true, but it still goes to show why you don't need to put a lot of crit rate on your Lauren. Maybe it's a counter to Ragdoll and we just haven't figured it out yet.
Just don't hit the Ragdoll, considering you are a light unit.
And Triana has the option right now to just keep picking damage on the Shiho. Goes for that one, gets a proc for an additional 3,000 damage. Shiho is looking pretty bad right now. 10,000 coming from that Ragdoll. That's actually a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage, considering he has attack buff, so why not?
Yeah. Why not just go for the Torrent right now? Exactly. You don't expect that much damage.
Can he get stuns? He gets the stun on Vanessa, doesn't get additional proc. He can just heal up that Shiho. That Shiho is, like, unusually tanky, I would say, but it's...
You know, it's funny that he opted to put the glancing hit on right now, because the problem with that is that it doesn't synergize very well with the Ragdoll. Because now you're not going to be critting, he's not going to be getting attacked.
In this case, it doesn't matter because he is going to crit.
Oh,
let's see if the crit comes.
Oh, and now he has the opportunity to steal the invincibility from him. He does gets 2 crits along the way.
But he didn't have glance, so
no, he didn't.
All right.
He can attack break and push back the attack bar on Vanessa. Here comes Lauren with a slow but no
land the
defense
defense
break.
break.
And that was the most crucial thing. He
He
really
would-
needed that. Defense
yeah.
break, most important debuff in the game, I'd argue. He can get the next best thing. Oh, and he doesn't even get the next best thing. It was resisted. And now Shiho's back up. He's got to do
He
this a
stunned the
third
Lauren,
time.
doesn't get it.
He had to do this.
Let's get an additional bra.
Oh, look at all those stuns. He has to kill this Shiho essentially a third time. He's gotten it all the way down so often.
Probably going to opt for that, yeah, upping that Lauren, getting that control into the game again.
I wouldn't be surprised if this Ragdoll kills right here. Doesn't have quite enough damage. Eleanor finishes off. Vanessa's passive is proc. Lauren's back up with an attack buff. This is it. This is the kill that he needs. Can he do it? He doesn't.
He should have got for the second skill, but it's okay. He gets it anyways.
Was it on cooldown? I think it might have been on. I'm not sure. It went so fast. He chose it so fast that I wasn't able to see it.
Me neither. To be
Yeah,
honest.
it might have been on it. He can put the Aura of Dawn back up, attack break, and glancing. That's essentially a heal for your team, to be honest. Anytime you put the attack.
The Ager is now downed. It's not looking that great for LuckyQ at this point.
No, it's definitely not. He's got to overcome the sustain from the Fran, the attack break, and the glancing from the Elenoa, and also
And
the
that
turn
is enough to
cycling.
finish that Lauren.
And with that, I think most of the hope of coming through. But look, he's just putting the attack buff up in the immunity so that there's nothing. He's playing it super safe. Rosith is satisfied with the fact that he's going to be getting a point after this.
Yeah, Elenoa plus Fran is like infinite amount of immunity.
You can tell how much damage is coming. Look at that. He did 12,000 damage with that attack buff up compared to the 10k from before.
Yep.
Attack power is up 30%. Max HP is going down. So is that Vanessa.
I'm actually baffled. Like I did not expect that much damage from that Elenoa as well.
Yeah, the Elenoa did a lot.
She has some quality grade A 6-star runes.
Yeah,
6-star runes.
grade A. You
Emphasize
gotta
that.
to sit in this tournament setting, you got to have the toppest tier of runes. And now just finishing the job, trying to make sure that LuckyQ doesn't have enough time to think about that next game. Rosith is going to have to do this 2 more times.
Yeah, he's just contemplating. Contemplating is virtue. Like, as I said that before, but I don't think anybody got that. So,
Oh, don't worry. I committed it to heart. Ross talking about it. I summoned it into existence. Now, quick, let's go into this. The semifinals to round 2. Rosith versus LuckyQ. Let's jump in there and do all these picks before something happens. We got Ragdoll and Vanessa pre-banned right now, and LuckyQ and Rosith are just going to go through all those picks.
I would love you to continue. Like, oh
Yeah,
man,
sorry.
that was ultra speed. Like, that was over 9,000. So please continue.
I don't need any gaps for the game to think something's going on. But though, if I understand correctly, it's not a game issue. It's actually a connection. There's like a dedicated Wi-Fi that's having a little bit of issue right now. But that's all speculatory. We don't need speculation right now because we got Fran, we got Lauren, we got Daphnis, and we got all the same picks that we saw before the gap there coming up right now.
We got the Viva Chell, we have the Sierra, we're going to see the Hathor and Verd. Hopefully, it depends. Like, what do you think? Is it going to be the same band? Or
No, I think you were right. I really liked your argument. I found it to be quite compelling.
Wait,
I think
you liked my
Hawthorne's gonna be-
argument?
I did.
Oh,
I really respect it a lot. And
that was first.
judging from Rosith's RTA history, he chooses to go for the Vert again. Maybe there's something we're missing. Maybe the issue didn't happen then.
No,
And it's still good. It's still good.
it's still good. But as I said, he might as well want that, flavor. He wants that.
He wants the flavor.
Yeah.
And I can't blame a man for wanting some flavor. That is what it is. And I think he does have enough protection against it. So it's like as long
He
as
does have protection.
Yeah, he's got the protection against it, so that means he can just let it through. The whole team is immunity up. Lauren goes and gets the defense break on Daphnis, but it looks like we've had an admin pause the game momentarily, and we'll have to see what comes up after this.
I'm pretty excited. Is it the Hathor ban or not?
I'm so into the tournament setting right now that I'm seeing the match play out in my head. So I'm seeing the Fran put up the immunity in the attack buff. I'm watching Hathor single target strip the Vivichel, and then we see Ager.
However, that's not going to happen
You don't
because
think so?
Josephine gets if she
Oh no,
sleeps,
you're right. She gets it.
Josephine can just
I
provoke
barely
Ager.
recognized her behind the S in the pause. To be
The
honest,
S and the pause.
The S in the pause. It's kind of blocking her figure. Totally forgot about her. You're right. And we're back. Here we go. Fran, prove me right. Attack buff and immunity up.
Let's see if that plays out.
Is he gonna do
However,
it?
the Ager goes before
so
the
I'm
Hathor.
already wrong. That's the trouble. Daphnis is dead.
Ooh.
Ager gets an additional turn. Doesn't get to do too much with it, but he's going to be able to tunnel some damage into a unit. Who is he most scared of? He's very scared of Elenoa right now. Resisted.
Okay, so the resistance comes into play.
And this is a kill on Hathor right here. He's going to put her down to 1 HP.
And that's going to proc the passive of Josephine, and Josephine will just
immediately kill. I love that combo because it puts Vivichel to sleep right away. Oh, Josephine
doesn't go for the kill.
Tries to do
Yeah,
it.
he
I
can
guess,
just do AoE right now.
and it benefits from doing the attack break and the glancing on Ager. That was a very cool move that I'm not used to thinking about, to be totally honest.
I wasn't used to myself as well, but yeah. In this case, it's looking really good in Q's side.
It does look really good for LuckyQ. He had an awesome start, and I don't think that Rosith can come back from this, but we'll have to see what's going on. Ager just has so much utility in his kit. He's so much more than just damage. He kills Elenoa, and he's got a buff removal in the back.
Buff removal, and he can just push back as well.
That's right. Choosing to get a little bit of damage in on Vivichel here. Going for the stun on Lauren, which the real threat is Ager right now. The real threat is Ager.
The Ager is the threat. So the only way Rosith can come back from this is by getting an insane amount of violent procs right now. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, considering that Lucky has so much control with the Lauren, with the Ager, and he will probably have immunity up right now as well.
Exactly, and what I didn't realize is that Ager, in certain circumstances, when his third skill is up, is actually really good against Vivichel. Like if he takes 50%, and this is half, he can get it
self-sustain.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's just down to Josephine. And now there's going to be a point on the board for LuckyQ. These players only have to do this 2 more times, and then they'll be securing their spot in the finals.
I gotta be honest, it's so hard to tell who's going to win.
I don't know.
They're so everyone in the semifinal, like they're so equal.
Yeah,
it's so equal.
I gotta know, is that the fastest round that we've had all day long?
It felt fast.
It felt really fast, but it's probably because we're so excited.
Oh, also we had like a little bit of a break in between there, so it's not like it was contiguous. But I mean, it was.
I mean, we finally got to see the game happen. Like
that's true. So we had a lot of chance to talk about everything ahead of time while we were having that extended discussion, and then the game happened, and I feel like all of the things that we talked about, I don't know if those were necessarily relevant to exactly what happened, because it felt like the game was just like pretty like straightforwardly decided. Yeah,
and he honestly the Ager was my MVP because Hathor got sniped out right away. So even though the Hathor didn't come into play too much, it wasn't that big of an issue for him. So I think it was good that he let it through.
We made you guys wait a lot for game number 1, so we're ready to get back into game number 2, and now we're getting into game number 3 coming up.
That's right. Rosith versus LuckyQ, semifinals 2, round 3.
Going for that Vivichel ban and the Hathor ban, as you said from the beginning. Rosith doesn't like that Hathor.
He doesn't like the Hathor, and what I meant, it's like last time we saw the Hathor wasn't the threat, it was the Ager.
Yeah.
The Ager was actually the threat from that team, so even though it didn't go his way, I think his ban was still pretty sound, to be honest.
It was. Let's just see how Rosith is going to adapt to that previous game. Hopefully we'll see another... What were we talking about? Ragdoll.
Ragdoll. It's notably not pre-banned right now. Chooses to go for the Lauren instead, and this is what we were talking about earlier. Get those units that are more common out of the way. Vanessa is a really common monster in this level of RTA, and then Lauren, everybody has access
and
to.
LuckyQ loves to play with the Vanessa because he wants to get he wants to get momentum. He wants to get that first turn as well.
He's known for wanting that first turn right away. Rosith is he's proving to be the threat that everybody thought he was, but LuckyQ is also getting that same badge of honor.
And there we go with a Daphnis and Elenoa. Oh man, the Elenoa is looking pretty
good. He's pretty good. It's a surprise that we haven't seen her pre-banned yet. I almost think she warrants one. I really like her second skill, man. The attack break and the glancing is basically a heal for your team. I can't stress that enough.
I mean, he's had like really optimal games with that. Okay, taking from Obalbo there
The Azaria
with
pick.
the Zarya pick.
Lots of attack bar manipulation on LuckyQ's side. He has so much attack bar decrease, increase absorption. He's got sleep. Rosith, I don't know if Rosith has what it takes to adapt to this. No immunity on this side, so that means all of LuckyQ's effects are going to be going through. Yeah. I'm expecting a ban on his Aria, to be totally honest.
It might
Or
be
Aegir.
so. Rosith seems to want that first turn exactly. So he might get it. It all depends on what is banning. That some people usually rune up that rune up Bird with Swift, so it might happen to be really fast.
And there's that respect ban on the Aegir. It was definitely the main problem for Rosith last game. Trying to make it a little bit more difficult for him to keep his team alive. LuckyQ bans out the Vanessa.
He bans out the Vanessa, so it just leaves him. Okay, that is a really fast.
Yeah, that's a suspiciously fast Lauren.
Really
Slow
fast
down.
Lauren. Okay.
And
it's on
it's on violent. It gets the first turn. It's on violent.
Okay.
So he goes for that. That's kind of a dangerous play just in case it's on revenge because it might have the opposite effect that you want, but he got lucky.
The thing here is that was a really good heal. It was a heal that you would have gone for. So that's some good sleeps as well.
The extra sleep on Samath preventing some of the damage that was going to come onto Vertihile.
He landed the cooldown. I don't. Yeah, he landed the cooldown on the Triana, so he could just kill the Vert now.
Look at that. The refresh into the attack bar boost. So
Wait,
he
didn't land it?
Okay. It was so fast that I thought he landed it too. But I think what I was reading was the landing it on the Verd. I think that's what I was reading. It overlapped. Wow, that's really unfortunate. I think he might have had the same thing. He might have thought that he landed it on Triana and just went for it.
I think we need to. I think we both need glasses. But you're wearing glasses.
I am wearing. I'll take a second set of glasses for this one. Sleeping the Elenoa, decreasing the attack on Daphnis. It's such a shame for Rosith that didn't actually do anything because now, since Triana's passive was up, Vertihile didn't take any damage whatsoever. And suddenly, Rosith's team looks like it was hit with the Hathor that he pre-banned earlier.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So LuckyQ seems to be he seems to be controlling the game now. Like Zarya is going to do Zarya is going to do the Hathor game here.
She can ultimately function like a Hathor in this situation. Like it's pretty often that you get to see her sleep the entire team. That Daphnis is on his way out. I think she could kill right here. Didn't even need to crit. 3,000. No. Daphnis is off the board. That was a huge hit on Samath. What? That was a huge hit.
Not only that, with that sleep as well, but that was just an added bonus. So
that must be entirely damage? Is that entirely damage?
It's not unusual to see crit damage Trianas.
It was 6,000. The 6,000 hit from that thing took out almost all of his health.
So, LuckyQ seems to be controlling this game pretty well. I did not expect that versus a Elenoa.
Neither did I, because the Elenoa has been kind of an issue. Love the combo with Elenoa and Daphnis. Ultimately wasn't enough. It's still just fast asleep. Lauren getting controlled. She's not used to this. We're not used to seeing the Lauren get controlled. It's normally Lauren doing the controlling.
Man, my baby is getting controlled.
She needs some help. LuckyQ with another point on the board in the semifinals. One more time, Lucky. That's all you need.
I like to take that. I really do.
And he's celebrating by searching for something under the desk.
I thought he was tying his shoes there for a second. I'm like, well, that's essential to being a good Summoner's War player. You got to be safety first.
Safety
got to
first.
have those shoes tied so that he can run up and grab the trophy at the World Finals.
That's why I always tell everybody to buy Vans.
So that way you don't have better laces? Is that what it is?
No laces at all.
Oh, no laces at all?
Yeah.
Nice. I got to upgrade to that. That was an awesome match. Elenoa
What do you want to say?
Asleep the whole time. Please say
all I'm trying to say is, like, Elenoa, I mean, when I first saw her, I needed to think to myself, it's like, okay, well, what is the name of that? And now we see her, like, every single game. She's really defining a lot of these matches. And I think everyone everywhere after watching this Europe Cup is going to be thinking to themselves, well, I got these, like, Rainbow Mons, Devil Mons, like, where should I... Oh, okay, yeah. I got to get me that Elenoa.
I got to get me an Elenoa. And it says something. She's one of my highlights from this tournament. And it says something that I'm talking about her so much. when that round, she spent the majority of it asleep. You know, that it's just the beginning was so impactful.
Okay, well, you guys shouldn't spend the next round asleep because we have the next game coming up.
That was
just a second.
That was a really
Awesome segue. Here we go. Semifinals 2, round number 4. Rosith versus LuckyQ. LuckyQ is at game point.
So we're gonna see that ragdoll ban and that respectable Lauren ban.
Which is funny because we know that it's really fast. Laurens are typically kind of squishy too. So it's like normally people don't pre-ban it because it's kind of easy to get rid of in the game.
It is, but that would probably be below C3 and that kind of rating.
Oh,
but
that's true,
like,
because you're right. The runes here are the toppest of tiers.
they are toppest of tiers, exactly. You just
They're off the charts.
okay.
If you can say hardcore-ish, I can say toppest.
Okay. All right.
Vertihile and Aegir. Aegir is... I had a lot of respect for Aegir coming into this tournament, but he's kind of redefined himself in my mind. We've seen him come back from a lot of situations. Usually, if the enemy team doesn't have any damage, he can just plow right through them.
Yeah. And versus Aegir, in this case, like... Rosith hasn't really picked up any counters to it and has always let it through.
Right.
So, and that is... right now, he is actually picking some counters. He has a Hathor, he has a Sierra. He's picking the win units. And
A Veligul, that's a very new unit for this tournament. We haven't seen Veligul picked yet, providing that 3 turns of immunity, cleanse, and attack bar boost all in one skill. What a legend. Shiho and Daphnis, that's actually a great counter pick to the Veligul.
It is. That just tells me it might be a Vanessa ban on LuckyQ.
And another immunity source makes me think that we're not going to see the Daphnis in this game.
Probably not going to see the Daphnis. So that's Sierra and Hathor. Unless that Amelia gets banned right now, I don't think Sierra or Hathor is going to do much. They will have to look for some soft spots to land a bomb or whatever.
Fascinating. So Shiho and Daphnis are still in the game. Amelia and Veligul are still here, which means that there's always going to be a buff for Daphnis to take away.
Yeah, and we're probably going to see that unless he can get that one-shot potential on that Daphnis, I think Daphnis will one-shot that Vanessa.
I think you may be right, actually. Here comes Hathor putting out the delayed promise while she can. I'm actually a big fan of that because there's never going to be another opportunity.
So we're going to see most likely going to see that Vanessa just kaput.
And now Shiho has a little bit of an awkward turn. He can use his third skill on the Veligul if he wants to, but his main concern is just it's just passing the turn to Daphnis.
Yeah. All right. So
the stun is not. Okay, never mind. No stun. I was going to say that'd be kind of a nice bonus.
Yeah. Okay. So
35,000 damage is going to put Vanessa in the grave.
That's so good to see. That is so good, and it's on violent. Like I never expected to be on violent. I really never see a violent Daphnis, and that is beautiful to see.
It's great effect. And he strips away that shield because we know that was more than just one hit's worth of shield. Here comes Veligul with the 3-turn immunity, and this is what I was talking about when I said that Hathor is never going to get another chance to use a delayed promise on more than one person.
Yeah. So can we see an additional proc from Daphnis? We did not. I would love to see that just to get back-to-back Hellfire.
So much damage comes out even from that first skill.
Yeah.
Big second skill from Veligul. 6.9 and a dot coming up next, but Fran still has her cleanse up? No, she already healed the Daphnis. She already healed the Daphnis. So he's going to get to actually capitalize on some of that damage and just tunnel more into Daphnis.
Yeah, however, like as soon as that Veligul goes down, I think that the Water Monkey has no issue to deal with whatever LuckyQ has.
Right. Rosith has support and damage in spades here.
Yeah, and we're going to see the Veligul go down here and continued after that. We're going to... Okay, that's some good procs.
These are some good...
really good procs.
I tell you, DB11 has some great runes, man. You should check it out.
What do you mean? All right. So, it looks to be in the bag unless this Verd can do some insane 5.2k damage.
Nothing. 1.1 for it, actually. And lands the defense break, gets a crit. 34,000 damage. Crit on water. Just icing on the cake. This is proving that these players are even more matched than we thought they were. They're so equal. They're just trading off wins.
They're just trading, and it's just fun to see that. It's just like I'm pretty speechless because I am actually really I'm so into the game. It's so fun to watch this. It makes me speechless.
Yeah, me too. Like this is my ideal SWC setting. It's not a stomp. It's an equal matchup between these players. I legitimately don't know who's going to win. If you asked me, statistically speaking, I would say that next LuckyQ is going to win because they've just been handing off wins side by side.
Yeah, it's just fun to see that.
It's so cool to see kind of both ends of the spectrum. You got Boss, who 3-0'd Obabo straight to the grand finals, easy mode, and now you have the exact opposite situation where you're going the entire distance, best of 5 all the way. I mean, what more could you ask for? You're getting a little bit of everything.
I'm getting a little bit spoiled because this tournament kind of has it all, to be totally honest.
Right.
Like, legit, you don't get to see this many games from the top 8 players in Europe that often. So I'm frankly really happy that it's happening live.
It just tells us that they're two titans clashing against each other, and they're really on the same level.
Yeah, everybody here clearly deserves to be here. I'm so happy about this.
Yeah, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, just trading blows back and forth. The game is ready. Our final match of the semifinals is coming your way.
My dudes, this is semifinals 2, round 5. Someone is going to be able to come back here for the World Finals, and they're going to be the French representative from this tournament. This is really exciting. Somebody is going to be having to be sent home, unfortunately. But they're going to be sent home as a 3rd place, so they're not going to leave empty-handed.
They're not going to do that. And in this case, we're probably going to see that, as I said.
Yes! Yeah. Finally, someone pre-bans the Aegir. I actually love this. He's been such a threat across multiple games. Pre-banning him frees up another ban.
I mean, Rosith has been very diverse with his bans.
Yeah, he has, actually.
He contemplates. Like, he knows, okay, this was very bad for me the previous game. Let's not have it this time.
And it's a notable issue that, and now he has to go, rather LuckyQ has to go outside of his usual picks, find a different damage unit, and maybe you have a counter for it, because not everybody has so much utility on one monster.
No. Let's just see how Rosith is going to respond to that Fran pick. It's just going to be like, basically, okay.
And
goes with that Ragdoll.
I gotta say that I do like it, mostly just because you don't have anything to respond to yet. Fran is just such a natural and good choice that you want to see what they're going to bring to their team before you completely counter what's on the board.
Yeah. And so Rosith goes with the Lauren and Ragdoll first pick. LuckyQ responds with that Hathor that might get banned, as stats tells us.
As the stats say from Season 8, 9, and 10.
With a Vanessa as well.
And Rosith bringing out the Elenoa. Oh. God bless you. I love seeing the Elenoa. It's so much fun.
He's just giving us color. He's just giving us color. I just love the colorful play.
Yeah, this is entirely LD so far. All these LDs. And with there's a Ciara.
then there's
a Ciara. All these LDs.
All right.
Triana. This is very safe.
It is.
I can hear Taki being unsatisfied with the amount of damage.
I am really not unsatisfied, because I personally play with Vanessa Triana and just build around that.
Okay,
but it's usually the way around. Like, I first pick those. So
frankly, I am a little concerned about LuckyQ's team right now, because once you ban out the Hathor, there's not a lot going on in terms of the damage, although Ciara is going to be kind of a non-threat with the Fran and the Triana.
I mean, in this case, it might be a crit damage Triana.
And Vanessa could be a bruiser build. You're right.
It could be. And yeah. So
Lauren's out. Ragdoll's in. So is Elenoa. This is... we get to see the dream. We get to see them both in the same place.
Yeah, we do.
This is going to be a great round 5.
Yeah. So Elenoa will not have many to reduce cooldown on, except for that Ciara. But in this case, he doesn't have any strip. So he will have to wait until he lands the bomb.
So it's going to be a few turns before he can actually use one of those. Until then, Ciara is just going to be biding her time, using her first skill, having some awkward turns. But once he can start getting a target in, we're going to see multiple bombs coming out of Ciara because of the reset from Elenoa, or the soft reset because it's 2 turns.
So the Elenoa will just use the first skill. Oh, maybe not. Just pushing everybody.
Bar.
Yeah.
More attack bar.
Why not?
That's a really interesting approach to that. So now his team is going to get to funnel a little bit more damage into that Fran and push Triana to use her second skill. So now all of the immunity is going to be out of the way.
Yeah. However, Ciara, that was one really squishy Ciara.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of going to throw a wrench in something if he can kill Ciara that easily.
So let's just talk about the damage that is being dealt to Rosith. It's not underrated. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it is. That Ciara is a little squishy. I'm actually not sure if it can survive all those turns. Fran's going to be She just barely hangs on.
that is 0.1.
Just barely hangs on. Now he's got to spend a little more time killing the Fran, but that's okay.
Gets a sleep on Verd.
That is unheard of. And now, so Rosith has to find a way to kill the Fran, get through Triana's passive, or I think it's back. I think it's the passive and also the Vanessa. I don't think it's been procced yet. Actually,
it hasn't been.
It was just not enough damage. Now it's been procced.
Now it's procced.
Now he's got to get through Vanessa's passive.
Can he land his sleep on that Sierra? Doesn't.
Not. The Vertihile was too impressive. He doesn't need to land it on anything else. And let's not forget that Ganymede's here to also reset Vanessa's passive once it goes off.
And I'm pretty sure that, all right, it wasn't heavy damage for that friend. I'm pretty used to that heavy damage on.
Oh, wait, this could actually be big. He could actually kill the Fran before Ganymede takes a turn if he refreshes the right unit.
That is correct. That is correct. So he's probably going to push up that Vertihile.
For the attack bar boost, so that way all of his team can go.
Yeah, and they have their skill up.
Goes for
that additional proc.
And gets a proc. So his whole team is going to get to go before LuckyQ. Rosith is taking his time, putting a bomb on Vanessa, popping it, and letting the AoE kill the Fran.
Doesn't kill the Fran.
Wait, it doesn't kill the Fran.
It doesn't matter.
Fascinating. It's dead still. He's still got the whole team. But that Fran, I got to commend the Fran for hanging in.
It was pretty tanky.
That was impressive.
Yeah, it was.
They trade units there, but I think Rosith ultimately came out of this on top in that exchange.
However, Triana still has her heal, and Sierra could potentially go down.
He ventilates the Vanessa, which is good.
So he can get that defense break and maybe finish off that Sierra.
But now he's going to go ahead and proc the passive right now so he doesn't have to deal with it later. And he can put the bomb on Triana, but he doesn't have... Oh, she misses!
She misses.
She misses. So she's going to have to take a couple more turns. Rosith still has the damage to carry through despite the lack of bomb.
Oh,
the proc is icing on the cake!
Can he land a defense break?
Puts it... Huh?
He lands a defense break.
Lands it on Eleanoa. That worked so well for LuckyQ.
That dot killed him as well, so...
Oh, that's too much damage. That is just too much damage for LuckyQ, I think.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
What? Crit damage? Is that crit damage? Wait, can Vanessa... If Vanessa puts the defense break on this, and Ganymede goes in for... Oh, no.
Okay.
This is... That was exciting, but this is a little bit too close.
It's still not over. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Can Gany...
Reset. You need to reset.
Let's see the damage.
But that was not a crit. That was not a crit. This isn't 2017. He can't ventilate himself. Is that enough? If he can't even proc here.
I would probably say well played.
Well played, LuckyQ.
That was so exciting.